Hi everyone, it's John from What Up. Welcome back to another video, and I have a special guest with me today here in the channel. This is Jordan from the Soundscape of Time. If you don't know what that is, you're going to find out today because it is an amazing Wheel of Time related project that's coming out, made by a creator in the community to enhance your audiobook listening pleasure, I guess you'd say. So hi
Yeah,
Jordan, thanks so much for being with us here today. Um, uh, why don't you tell us a little bit about how this came to be and what it is?
yeah, definitely. Thanks for having me. So the Soundscape of Time is an idea of kind of concept of a project that started in the Lord of the Rings world and is now kind of cascaded into the Wheel of Time and Harry Potter and other things like that. And basically what it is I've taken the official audiobook, the original audiobooks for the Wheel of Time, and I'm working on Eye of the World right now, and I've listened through and outlined every sound effect, every ambient sound of nature and things like that, what environment we're in, and all these moments, horses and everything like that. And I've put in sound effects for all of those moments so that when you listen back with the audiobook, you'll hear all these sounds happening around you in 3D Dolby Atmos around you as you listen. So it's kind of like a movie in your ears type of idea. Um, and I'll be writing an original score for it and everything like that. So it's really meant to amp up the experience. And the key with it is that it's because people, do dramatized versions of audiobooks and things like that. But the key to this is that it's not abridged in any way because obviously I don't have the rights to the audiobooks. So my experience is you get the soundscape and you can listen to it on its own. Or with your version of the audiobook, you can put the two together and get this kind of all-inclusive experience, which is really cool. And it's not abridged in any way, and it has everything specific to every chapter. So, when we move from Emmons Field to a different location, the ambience environment will change, and we'll hear the horses move around you, or you'll hear the water move around you, or the one power, or anything like that. All that stuff we'll hear in 3D in your headphones. So it's a really pretty awesome experience, I think, and I'm excited to share it with everyone for sure.
Pretty excited for it. Now it's not out just yet, although it is coming out soon. I think you mentioned just before we started recording that you're looking to release the Eye of the World in and around when WatCon
Yeah,
happens, and
yeah,
at the
yeah.
same time you'll be launching a Kickstarter for books 2 and 3,
Two, three, and four,
2, 3, and 4.
hopefully. But I will definitely have stretch goals that will, you know, be the next book, and we'll see how it goes. Because the awesome thing with this is that, either way, as a fan, obviously, of Wheel of Time, I want to do all of them. And I think that would be an amazing experience to have, custom sound effects and music and everything for the whole deal. And yeah, it's just the time that I have to dedicate to this kind of project, because it's, uh, as an example, one chapter might be 45 minutes. So I got to do one pass for sound effects. I got to do one pass for ambience. I got to do one pass for music at least, et cetera, et cetera.
It takes
So
a
that
long
adds up to a
time.
lot of a lot of time. But I'm adding in as much detail as I can, and some grass movement when their footsteps are happening and whatever things like that. I want to make it feel like you're there as much as possible. So yeah, gonna launch the Kickstarter at WatCon, and the like pre-follow page for that is already up, so we can maybe share that
Maybe so.
somewhere
I'll leave
as
the
well.
link to the pre-follow to the Kickstarter down below in the description box for you
Yeah.
folks at home to bookmark it and check back in. So early July that will go live. Uh,
Mhm.
so you started this sort of as something to do with the Lord of the Rings at first, right? You started with that,
Yeah.
and it kind of blew up more than you expected.
Yeah, so I did a Kickstarter for The Lord of the Rings, and it got 160-ish% funded, which was awesome. So I, took my 3D microphone and went out and recorded forest sounds, and I designed all this stuff and did all of Middle Earth, so that's all done. The trilogy is all finished. And then I did a second Kickstarter for The Hobbit and the Silmarillion, and those are currently in production. That was another successful Kickstarter. And in the meantime, I've been working on Eye of the World. The first Harry Potter book is finished already, and various other fandoms that I am interested in. But moving forward, The Hobbit, The Silmarillion, and then The Wheel of Time will be the main focus of things. So yeah, I've been working away at Eye of the World, and I just finished all of the main sound effects the other day. So those are all done. And then I'm going to start adding in footsteps and then start writing the score. So lots of cool stuff to do.
Awesome. So you have a couple of samples already finished. They're up on your YouTube, and I think we're going to show them here.
Yeah, totally.
So if you just want to bring those up here, and then I'll chuck it in a big screen behind us here, so we can see them together, and I'll experience these for the first time with everyone watching this. So you'll see my actual reaction to it, which I think is super neat.
Yeah.
So while you're bringing that up, how did this come about? Like, what made you think of starting a project like this? Like, to me, it seems like an absolute no-brainer. I can't believe it hasn't been done with every book already.
I know,
it's like an immersive experience. But like, what brought the thought into the forefront of your mind?
Yeah, so I have, like, since watching The Lord of the Rings as a kid, and watching the kind of behind the scenes, I always loved the building blocks of a movie and seeing how that was all done, how they did the Foley and how they did the score and all this stuff. And then I was always thinking, wouldn't it be awesome to have a movie that was everything from the book or everything, in the story, not some kind of abridged version that we have to change because it's a movie, And so I said, what if I just treated the audiobook as if it was a movie and added all the sound effects and everything like that? And, Star Wars audiobooks do this a little bit. They use John Williams music and they use lightsaber sounds and stuff like that. And that was really cool. But it was never fully like as specific as I wanted it to be, I want to hear each piece of sound design fit with, what Rand is doing or whatever it might be in the moment. And I always thought that there was huge potential there. And the real kind of turning point for me was the introduction of Dolby Atmos, where we can have this simulated 3D audio in your headphones. And so we can put the narration right here in the center, and then you can have sound effects all around it. And just like as if you're watching a movie, it doesn't clash with the dialogue in the way that you would think it would if it was just in stereo. So it kind of opened up this door of possibility, and I love that kind of challenge of like, how can I make the experience more immersive, but I'm leaving the book intact as it is. I'm not altering it in any way. So I just thought that kind of idea was really exciting. And I went to school for audio a long time ago, and I've just always been interested in the film part of it. But when you do audiobooks, it's like we don't have to be tied to the screen. We don't have to be tied to a visual. So I just think it's an exciting world of possibility for sure.
That's awesome. All right, so let's. Do you have it ready there? We can throw it up on the screen.
Yeah, I just need to be able to share.
From the clear sky, lightning came. Each bolt crisp and sharp, searing his eyes, each bolt striking a winged black shape. Hunting cries became shrieks of death, and charred forms fell to leave the sky clean again. The heat, the terrible heat of the light. He fell to his knees. He thought he could hear his tears sizzling on his cheeks. No! He clutched at tufts of wiry grass for some hold on reality. The grass burst in flame. Please, no! The wind rose with his voice, howled with his voice, roared with his voice down the pass, whipping the flames to a wall of fire that sped away from him and toward the Trolloc host faster than a horse could run. Fire burned into the Trollocs, and the mountains trembled with their screams. Screams almost as loud as the wind and his voice. It has to end! He beat at the ground with his fist, and the earth tolled like a gong. He bruised his hands on stony soil, and the earth trembled. Ripples ran through the ground ahead of him in ever-rising waves. Waves of dirt and rock towering over Trollocs and Fades, breaking over them as the mountains shattered under their hooved feet. A boiling mass of flesh and rubble churned across the Trolloc army. What was left standing was still a mighty host, but now no more than twice the human army in numbers, and milling in fright and confusion. The wind died. The screams died. The earth was still. Dust and smoke swirled back down the pass to surround him. The light blinds you, Balsamon! This has to end!
That was amazing. I don't know what to say other than that. So it's no secret here in the channel that I don't have a great attention span, and I never loved audiobooks, mainly because I find they go too slow and there's not enough to pay attention to. I love reading, but I don't enjoy listening as much. Listening to the audiobook with the background noise made it infinitely better. There were other things to pay attention to, and it actually kept my attention. So
That's awesome.
I don't know what to say other than the fact that I super enjoyed that.
I'm so glad to hear it. And there's
It was really neat.
so much more to come, and so many little moments along the way. And it really makes you almost aware of the story in a different way than you've experienced before. Because you really hear all the, where we are and what's happening and all those things. And I think it's really exciting. So
It was super neat. So we have a little treat for you folks at home. Jordan has graciously agreed to do a giveaway. So what we're going to do is, for every comment on this video, you'll be entered into a giveaway for the Eye of the World. And when the Eye of the World becomes available, when WatCon launches, Jordan will send it out to you folks. So it's just one person. So if you comment 30 times, you don't get 30 entries. But spread the word about this particular Kickstarter. I left the Kickstarter down below. I left Jordan's YouTube channel down below, his socials as well. If you folks want to check him out, check out his other works as well. So if you're Lord of the Rings fans, he has completed works already done. If you're Harry Potter fans, they're coming. And it sounds like you're basically going to go through all the geekdoms right in a row. Is what it kind of sounds
as much
like.
as I can. Yeah, exactly.
So if you folks enjoy that sort of thing, if you're like me, and you really did enjoy the background noise to the audiobook, it's kind of life-changing. Is that too much to say that? Because I'm pretty impressed with it. So comment down below, tell us what you thought of it, and for every person that comments, you'll be entered into a draw, which I will release in the coming weeks. Who wins a copy of the Soundscape for the Eye of the World, which is really very neat. And again, Kickstarter's launching at WatCon. However, the pre-sale, the pre-page is up right now, so you guys can view that. It is linked down below, so make sure you bookmark that. And I would assume it's going to be probably pretty heavily trafficked when it first releases, especially since it's releasing at WatCon around a lot of other real-time fans. So you're going to make sure you want to check that out. All right, so Jordan, any parting thoughts for our folks at home here before we let them go bookmark your Kickstarter page?
No, just a huge thank you, and I hope that people enjoyed the samples. And if you have any thoughts, I'm excited to hear them. And I have other ambiances and things like that on my YouTube too. If people want, a little bit of a taste of what it might be like in a longer form, then that's there. And Lord of the Rings is already done, and lots of other stuff to explore.
That's awesome. All right, so again, the links are all down below to the Kickstarter, Jordan's YouTube, his socials, all of that's there. So go check him out, check out Soundscape, and thank you all very much for sticking with us here to the very end. And here's to many more.